Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to our IELTS focus lesson. Today we're going to do an overview of the requirements of the writing paper 2, the second writing paper of your IELTS examination. I just want to check that you are familiar with everything that's expected of you during this section. Okay, so let's have a look now. I've got 4 questions for you actually. Okay? I have 4 questions for you, as you can see. The first question, do you know already the genre of the question part 2 of the writing? Which genre are you being asked to write? Just think about that. Okay, and then I'll give you another question to think about, and that is, do you know the word number? What word number? How many words will you have to write? Number 3, what about the timing? How long do you have to complete this section? And number 4, have you got any idea of the kind of topics you will be required to write about? Okay, so let's see if you got the same answers as mine, which I'm going to show you now. Okay, so you're going to write an essay in this section. That is, section 2 is an essay. It's not a note-taking, it's not an email or a letter, it's not a report. It's an essay, okay? Your minimum word number is 250. That's the minimum. You must write 250, but there is no maximum. But I don't recommend writing too many more because you won't have the time to do it well. The time is actually 40 minutes. So you've got 40 minutes to write 250 words or more. And the topics are universal. Universal, by this I mean topics that everyone in all the various countries where students do the IELTS exam, everyone will understand what is meant by these topics. So about education, about home, about maybe the environment, about your family, etc. So these are probable topics of this section. So, of course, you want to get as high a mark as possible. And so really, to do that, you have got to meet the requirements that the examiner wants to see in your essay. You have to please the examiner. He will be checking various tick boxes to make sure you have got everything there. So let's see what he's looking to find. Okay, 4 things particularly. His marking, he has a total, of course, of 100% and is looking for that 100% to be divided into 25% each on these attributes that you will put inside your essay. So you've got to look at your task response, and that just means, are you answering the question? So you must read the question very carefully to make sure your answer is exactly relevant to the question posed. Okay? Now, number 2, the examiner is looking for coherence and cohesion. Now, what does that mean? As you can see, I've put a little note there. It means it's a well-organized essay. It's written logically, in a logical order, and it's easy for the reader, or the examiner in this case, it's easy for the reader to follow your chain of thought and the sequence of events that you mention in your essay. Okay? Number 3 is vocabulary. It's good if you can demonstrate that you have at your fingertips a wide range of vocabulary basic vocabulary, but also some more sophisticated items of vocabulary, okay? So a wide range, and of course it's got to be correctly used. It's got to make sense in the way that you use it. Last, but not least, we're looking at grammar. Everybody always thinks that grammar is the most important thing. But actually, as you can see, you can even get 75% of the marks without even thinking about the grammar, because there are other components that have equal weighting in the exam. Okay, so of course you must try and use correct grammar, accurate grammar, and show a range of grammar. For example, a range of past tenses, not just always the past simple. You could be using the past perfect progressive, a range of different future tenses, and so on. So show a variety of grammar, show that you're able to manage that as well. Okay, so bearing in mind those are what the examiner is looking for. Now, when you come to write your essay, do you just write half a page without paragraphing, without thinking about the sequence, the organization? If you do that, you won't get very high marks. You need to think how to organize it, and you need to know that before you enter the exam. So let's see how you organize your essay. You know, different people say different things, but this is my recommendation, having taught IELTS for a long time, okay? I recommend that you create 4 paragraphs. Remember, it's only 250 words, so it's not really a very long essay. You're going to have an introduction, and you're going to have 2 main paragraphs, and then a conclusion. Now, would you say that the introduction and the conclusion should be the same length as your main paragraphs, I wonder? Think about it. Are all of these going to be the same length or not? Are some more important than others? Let's see. Right, 250 words, 4 paragraphs. I have broken that down also into sentences. 13 sentences, approximately. It's all very approximate, but this is your general framework, okay? Paragraph 1, introduction. I recommend only 2 sentences, okay? If you spend a long time writing a long and complex introduction, you're not really answering the question. The answering the question part, which is the important part, is in the 2 main paragraphs, okay? The main body of your essay, which is paragraph 2 and paragraph 3. And there you would have approximately 5 sentences each. So basically 10 sentences in your central section, 2 sentences in the introduction, and 1 sentence only in the conclusion. Because the section where your marks will be found is in paragraphs 2 and 3. This is my recommendation, okay? And then there's the timing. The last thing to think about is your timing, because you only have 40 minutes. How would you break down your time? You have to be aware of timing throughout the exam, okay? Again, I can recommend, it's up to you whether you follow what I say, but I have found that this works. Okay. Now, the first thing to say, many people don't like to plan. They just sit down and they write. If you feel very confident with that and you found it to be a very successful method for you in the past, in your practice, okay. But I have found that taking time to plan is definitely a good idea in general. And I would recommend about 7 minutes. You could make it 5, 6, 7. Just to think about, and maybe write down, do a quick mind map, something, just to think about how you're going to answer this question, what you're going to put in the intro and in the 2 central paragraphs, and then how you're going to end it. Just brainstorm ideas. I think it's very useful. You don't have to, but I do recommend it. You could try it in your practice and see how you go with this. Then you're going to write your introduction, which remember is 2 sentences, and that will take you, it should take you only about 5 minutes. It's only 2 sentences, and it's very closely related to the question. Main 2 paragraphs, you would take 10 minutes each one, okay? Because that is where you really get to the central ideas as shown in the question, as required by the question, okay? 10 minutes each. So you're taking 20 minutes on the main body of your essay, the 2 central paragraphs. And then again, your conclusion may be 5 minutes or less, maybe. Please do this. This is something people forget. They write everything and then they just, that's it, they penned it in. Give time for yourself to check your work. Because sometimes you read it through again and you think, oh no, I made that mistake, and you have to change something, or usually something minor, but everybody makes mistakes as they write, especially in an exam, because you may be a little bit nervous. So take time to leave those 3 minutes to quickly read through it in case something jumps out at you as needing correction. Okay? So that is the outline of the requirements and some tips about how to write your Part 2 essay in your writing IELTS exam. I hope you found something useful that you can remember and will help you in your exam. Again, thank you for watching. I've got this little activity. Think about your head. Think about something that's made you think during this presentation. Anything made you think, oh yes, I might try that. Or even, oh no, I'm not sure about that. But everything I say, you could just try it and see how you go in your practice papers. Yeah? Something that you felt about it, something that you did not like. You might think, I never plan and I always get high marks. Okay, that's fine. You don't have to plan. Throw it in the bin, which is here. Okay? And then something you will remember and take away with you when you have finished watching. Okay? I hope you'll take away quite a lot and think about what I've said. Good luck. Thanks for watching. Bye.